Boom, we're live. Just like that. Both of us in the Elton John glasses.
Well, no, mine are the flip downs.
Sorry.
It reminds me of like a Mari Stoudemire.
Dude, I wore goggles when I played basketball as a kid. That's what I wanted to look like. I wanted to look like Amari Stoudemire, but I ended up looking like fucking Michael Phelps. It
That
was,
was very underrated. The Steve Nash Stoudemire duo is pretty solid.
yeah, I think they got fucked over by that Spurs series where Robert Ory hip checked Nash into the boards.
Their jersey though, I mean the throwback 1999 Raptors jersey and then like the 2008 Suns jerseys are like my two favorite jerseys.
You think so? I would put the Vancouver Grizzlies over the Suns easily.
Put that in the top three. I'm biased because purple's like my favorite color.
I love if you can pull off a really good teal blue jersey. In my opinion, it looks fucking unbelievable. Or like a sky blue or a powder, something like that. Like the LA Chargers jersey looks fucking awesome. I think it's the best jersey in football, easily.
It's up there. I mean, a lot of NFL jerseys nowadays they're kind of like bland.
Mm-hmm. I think the NBA jerseys are worse, honestly.
Huh?
I think NBA jerseys are worse. Like the
Nowadays,
Raptors jerseys.
yeah, they're pretty shit.
The Raptors jerseys are fucking terrible. I really don't like them.
The jerseys overall for all sports has pretty much deteriorated into generic bullshit because then that way they could sell advertising space.
Have they considered making a custom GPT to make an AI generated jersey
I mean, like
to help them do LinkedIn outreach?
Is that you trying to segue?
Dude, I mean, yes and no. I think one of my biggest memes right now is like, how many fucking different adjectives can you throw on your corporate buzzword doublespeak to make what you do sound super valuable, but it's actually useless. So like my current one is, I'm an AI fintech, AIpreneur, strategic, innovative solutions with streamlined integrated AI automations for innovative, forward-thinking founders. And it's like, well, what do you sell? And it's like a DraftKings extension to Tinder.
That's Chinese. That sounds like you just did like verbal coding.
It is, yeah.
Like, skip to the plot. I was lost, but like I know what you're saying. But that reminds me of like, you know the bullshit that's happening with like Honey extension.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Dude, oh my god! Like the affiliate marketing, I didn't realize. I knew it was bad, but I didn't realize it was that bad. Like these companies are scammy. It's who cares about selling your data? Like they're just ripping every single person off that like makes money from affiliate marketing. They're like, you have a code, great. Actually, it's our code now. Thank you.
Yeah. It's tough, man, because like I mean, you're in the AI space, kind of. I mean, everybody's
I don't. It's not my forte. Like I'm very knowledgeable about it because I kind of have to. It's either like adapt or die.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, oh, that's my main bread and butter. Now, if like someone works with me, I help their business and implement that. And like with my business, I implement it. Even my day-to-day life now, it's with that. But I wouldn't say that's like the main thing. I'm not like, telling someone, oh, buy this workflow from me and then. Like,
yeah. Well, that's the one thing I really appreciate and respect about what you do is that you take AI and use it in a very appropriate way. Like everything you're talking to me off camera, and I won't say specific details, but like scraping information, doing the dirty work of learning what companies are doing, research, freeing you up to do the actual creative work, strategy, and direct it. I think that's like a really appropriate, ethical way of using AI.
That's how it should be. Yeah.
What I find to be the meme of why I make fun of AI content and AIpreneurship, for lack of a better term, is when people are like, all you're going to do is you're going to work 10 seconds a day and you're going to make $1 trillion from AI every minute.
Yeah, and
so
just type in this one sentence to GPT.
Yeah, exactly.
And take that and put on your story. Like, no.
This prompt is 9 million words and ChatGPT will literally build you acquisition.com right now.
The biggest prompt I've ever made was like 15,000 words. But it took, I had to chunk it into 10. Because the most biggest output you could really get on GPT is like 3,000 words. And so, yeah, if you're going to do like honestly, a ridiculously long prompt, like 15,000 words, it's kind of redundant. Unless it's like, like purposely putting that much context in. But at that point, you might as well just like feed it a Bible. That's basically what you're doing.
At that point, you're like putting it into a PDF and giving it into ChatGPT.
No, never do a PDF. Oh my god, it's too many megabytes. A fun hack for AI: if you have a lot of text or information, either put it into a zip file or download it as a TXT. So, like if you have a Google Doc and it's like 20 pages long, you're shooting yourself in the foot if you download it as a Word or a PDF because it's a lot heavier on like a file size. So it's going to take that space up on the chat. So then you're much better off downloading it as a TXT.
Okay, so basically all you're doing with the 15,000 word prompt is making it a TXT and then getting AI to make a shorter prompt and then using that prompt to then prompt AI so that it can.
No, I use AI a lot to make prompts to
Mhm.
prompt itself better, which sounds ridiculous, but it's honestly a really good life hack or game changer because
Mhm.
I like to explain it as like a fitness analogy because people are able to understand it better.
Mhm.
It's like energy in, energy out. That's what a calorie is. So when you're talking about AI, the more and specific detail and input you give it, the better output you get it, right? So if you're like, I want a recipe or I want a bread recipe, obviously it's fucking smart. It's artificial intelligence. It's really smart, especially now. It's like 2025 or no, now it's 2026. It's really fucking smart. So you're gonna get a fucking bread recipe. But if you're like, I want a bread recipe that is gonna be really good, I don't know. I don't make bread. Why did I come up with this example? But like, if I want a bread recipe because I'm gonna make a sandwich and this bread has to fucking I'm not making it from scratch because whatever. Like it'll just give you
Yeah, I'm looking for a
more
sourdough
specific
bread
shit.
recipe. I don't need to make it from scratch, but I don't want it to be full of too many fillers. Like, give me something that I can make reasonably quickly.
Yeah, or some people they get like anxious or they get stuck because they don't know what to prompt or what to say.
Hmm.
They could literally ask the AI to ask them questions to discover the root cause,
Hmm.
whatever that is, right? So it's like if you don't know if you literally are trying to make bread and you don't know how to prompt AI, you could literally say, "Hey, I want to make a bread recipe. Can you ask me questions to give me the best output?" It'll ask you 5, 10 questions and then it will give you the better output. Again, more input data you give it, the better output you get it. But people just give generic basic bullshit and then they are like, "Oh, AI is useless."
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I think something that I also like about what you do is that it's very efficient. Like, it's not about going viral or vanity metrics. It's about like actually driving results for business, which sounds
Multiple.
crazy,
Well,
but
yeah, people don't get that.
a lot
Yeah.
of people don't do that. It's about how many views can I get, or like what vanity can I get in order to get status that my peers will like me.
So here's a good stat. I think in the last 2 months, I've lost 2,000 followers, but I've made like 50 grand.
Wow.
So suck on them titties. But stats are, it's an arbitrary metric. Like, look, if you're a influencer, it's not. But if you're a business, or honestly, if you're most businesses, I think need to stop chasing virality because most businesses, if they were hit with a wave of virality, they don't even have the infrastructure set up to handle that demand. It doesn't matter if they're e-commerce or coach or whatever it is.
Hmm.
You could get a viral video for 1 million people, and you're gonna shit yourself because you don't know how to respond to all these people that are
Hmm.
messaging you or like all these people that want your service. You're not set up for that. So that's not really the name of the game. What the name of the game is actually making money and monetizing the audience in a proper way and doing it like consistently. And so then you could have consistent revenue, or you're just not freaking out because like, what's the point in taking every single lead that you have today, and then you don't have anything next month, right? But yeah, I don't know how we got on this topic, but so
No,
stats
this.
don't really matter that much.
I
I
mean, it's.
don't. I haven't posted on Instagram. I haven't posted on socials in like a month. And even when I did, or even when I'm doing it now, it's mainly just on YouTube because I enjoy making the YouTube videos and it's just educational and knowledgeable. So then I could use that for multiple different reasons, mainly for like flexing knowledge and then like indoctrination, people trust me, all that stuff, but also like for a nurturing asset. So when I have a consult with a prospect before the call, I'll send them one of my YouTube videos because
Mhm.
a lot of my YouTube videos they're not necessarily VSLs, but
They
they're
act like it.
educational, right? And they get to the point and they know
Hmm.
that I know what I'm talking about, and especially like based off of their calendar questions or like the set that we talked about, then I know exactly like kind of what video to give them as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's great, man. And that's something that I was doing when I was running my agency. Can I send them a long form asset that's going to help pre-close them before they get on the call? And what I would do is I would send them a video of me interviewing a client of mine who I got a crazy result for. And it's just like 10 minutes. It's not anything crazy, but it's 10 minutes of me talking to the person. It's not just them being like, "Hey, what's up guys? It's Puffy here. Bueno's great. Uh like working with him, make lots of money, and then the video ends. Because I find that if you leave it in the prospects or in the
That would crush. What do you mean?
yeah, exactly. Nobody's out here doing this, but I find that when you leave it in the client's hands, they just don't know what to say. So like having that interview and
It's
sending it
funny you
to
say that. So I had that same issue. Where I'd ask a client for testimonial and then they'd like just deadpan the camera or they'd be vague as fuck. So if anyone's watching this in your business or coach or whatever, and you need testimonials, which if you're a business, just get all the testimonials you can. The more social proof, the better, especially because we live in a trust recession and people are going to think it's AI. Literally make them the script. There's nothing wrong against that. I'm not saying just don't make a script and like put fake shit in it. Just like word the script as if like you would want the testimonial. That's what I've done for a lot of the testimonials that I have. Is it a gray area? Sure. Is it misleading?
For what though? I don't think it's misleading at all.
Some people think it's ingenuine. It's not
No,
though,
no,
because
it's not.
I'm literally helping. I'm helping the client give a better testimonial than if they were to give it themselves. I'm not putting fake like stats in it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just structuring it.
They're allowed to say no, this isn't accurate, and not read it too. You're just saying like, hey, if you don't know what to say, this is what I put. Like, if you want to change some things, we can adjust. But you just
Yeah,
give them
because it's
something.
obviously going to come off as more natural. I don't want them to sound like a robot and read it word for word. But like, I'll give them basically a template. And instead of like, I used to give it like, here are 10 questions. Just read the questions, and then I would edit it. But they would come off so robotic. So I would basically just give them like now. I'll give them like 75% of like a finished. It's not really a script, but like call it a script, whatever. And then they'll put their own spin on it. But it's like based off of because I know the client because they're my client. So I basically just took everything we improved on and where they were at, and because I could explain it probably better than they can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, dude, I completely agree. I think that's very wise for anybody who's trying to get client testimonials. I like the interview process too because it doesn't take too much of the time, and you can kind of like flesh out ideas and answers better, and they can see the dynamic of you interacting with people. But I think both work. Where it's like, don't just rely on your client to say something good. They don't know how to fucking format this. Like, they don't know what to say. They don't know what the best thing is to lead with. But yeah, man, one of the things that we were talking about offline that I want to touch on as well is like building trust in today's market. Because trust, everybody always talks about the trust recession. It's at an all-time low, and yes, it is. But part of the reason for that is because with online marketing, there's no real barrier of entry. You know what I mean? You don't need a fucking law degree.
Yeah, you can't really
You can just show up with a phone and start posting content and editing videos. You need what, $100 a month to get like.
It's the unfortunate reality. I know there's like the FTC, but like there should literally be like a level below the FTC where it's like people like flagging. You know, like how on socials it says okay, it's made by AI. Right, there should be like a bullshit meter or like a scam artist meter where it's like, you know, I mean, most of the people are not going to take their time out to go to the Better Business Bureau or look at like reviews of like businesses reviewing businesses, but there should be something in place where it's like if someone goes to a business's homepage, you should see like their actual reviews or ratings or some shit like that. Like, I mean, technically they have it on Facebook, but who the fuck uses Facebook anymore?
Yeah, I mean, Trustpilot's out there, but
again, people are kind of lazy. So unless someone's considering actually hiring them, then most logical, hopefully smart operators will do their due diligence and research. But some people don't, and then they just get trapped in the matrix or the funnel of indoctrination, and they just watch all their content and they believe everything they say, and then they're like, oh, this sounds good, oh, he's relating to my pain points, he's indoctrinating me, let me book a call. And then they'll say whatever they need to say to get money.
Yeah, that's what I've said before I got on any sales call. I'm like, damn, this guy's indoctrinating me right now. Like,
no, but
here's
like
$5,000.
No, but that's like that's the literal term, but nobody really understands that.
They don't understand.
You know marketing. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get on a call with someone and be like, yeah, they did a really good job of indoctrinating me. Because especially like, I know what to look for. I do, though, now that I know what to look for in terms of funnels or marketing and have been around for a little bit, I do compliment them when they do a good job. But I do find it not often that I compliment that they did a good job. I remember I booked a call with someone in their fucking funnel. I couldn't actually book the call. I texted them. I'm like, dude, like, what is this?
Right? That's so funny.
Red
I think
flag.
one of my favorites is like, I don't know if you're the setter or not, but if it's not, tell them this, but if it is, tell them the setter's doing a good job.
I do that all the time.
Dude, your setter's good. If this is the setter, you're doing a great job.
No, sometimes I'll just like troll because I know 100% like it's not them. Like it's either ManyChat or then it's ManyChat into the setter, and so I'll just like piss them off and I'll start like answering their questions with really vague questions. One thing that really irks me is like these content creators are like gaslighting. They'll like say comment the word whatever and we'll give you a free resource, but they don't. It's just their setter, and they're trying to get like info out of you, and then I'll just like go back and forth with the setter. I'll be like, look, I don't want to answer your questions. I want the free resource. Are you going to give it to me or not? They're like, well, we want to know what business you're in. I'm like, what difference business does it matter what I'm in if I just want this freaking free resource?
Yeah, you're arguing with some guy in the Philippines who's like, dude, just fucking tell me your business. And you're like, I just want the free thing. It's like an immovable object meets an unstoppable force.
I mean, like, ultimately, I'm not going to cave. Eventually, I remember, like, that argument ended in them giving me the free resource, and it was so shit. It wasn't even the same free resource that it showed in the video. It was like a dumbed down, it was like this Excel sheet to track whatever, and the actual video was not the same as the resource. The resource was like a skeleton version of the actual video. It was kind of bullshit.
Yeah. No, there's, you know Caleb Ralston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Good guy.
what he did with posting his free course was so awesome. And I know I have it in my watch later to watch his breakdown of his free course. Yeah, it's 6 fucking hours.
It's 6 hours.
But I think anything.
Long, I've watched it. It's
the whole
good.
thing?
Yeah, I watched it, and then actually, funnily enough, I took that, and if you, instead of you watching that video, if you would like me to give you the curriculum, because I kind of, I wouldn't say stole, I politely, what's the word? I stole like an artist. That's what I'm looking for. I didn't one for one copy his words. I took my knowledge and most of his knowledge and had a baby, and then I made like a curriculum of a personal branding masterclass. So shameless plug, but if anybody of the 5 listeners are watching this and you would like that, just let me know and I'll send it to you. I don't really give a shit. I have a Notion link. But
Yeah,
bro,
but I almost think though that works so much to his advantage, because at the end of the day, when you're buying a service from somebody, you're not just buying the product, you're not just buying the service, you're not just buying the result. I think you're buying who that person is. 100%. You're buying a piece of who they are, you're buying a piece of their energy, you're buying a piece of their philosophy and their worldview. And so if somebody's going to, give free resources, yes, people are going to copy and emulate, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, I think it shows who they are really behind the curtain, and that's far more important than any kind of result that they could say they've provided.
Yeah, well, I completely agree with that logic, because if someone goes through there's the Google rule of 7, right? But so I think that's why he's had such great success. Obviously, he also has a social proof where he took like Hermosi from like 10,000 followers
He's got
to like
ridiculous
a billion, right?
Yeah.
And then he was also with Gary Vee, so that is also compounding by itself. And then on top of that, he's given everything away for free. And so if someone gets to the end of that 6-hour video, not only does he have the social proof, but he also has gotten someone to like him, trust him, understand he's knowledgeable and experienced. So the next logical step, if someone actually sat down and watched all 6 hours, is to book a call to hire his services. And it would pretty much be an objectionless close at that point. Right?
I highly doubt they would.
I remember though, just on the flip side of it though, I remember when he posted on Instagram, because that course or video came out in like, I'm gonna say June or July. Somewhere it said June, July, August. And then I remember like a month later he posted on Instagram and he broke down the stats of like how many people signed up, and I was kind of blown away because it wasn't even that much. It was only like total like 1% of the viewers that watched that video actually converted to a call. But that just shows you, and the stats of like the 90 or 99% of people don't do shit, it's accurate, right? There's like 100,000 people that watch this course, and 1,000 people signed up for a call. Now, granted, 1,000 people signed up for a call in like 2 months for any business. That's insanity. That's 500 a month. That's like over 100 a week. You're going to need a sales team for that.
Yeah, that's insane.
But that's like small scale, but large scale, only 1,000 people out of 100,000 actually did it. And I mean, that's a story for another day. But that's also like why people, don't have success. They say they want success, but then they don't actually do anything. They'll like watch a fucking 6-hour goddamn course and they don't do anything.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of think right now that we're in the era of no early movers, if that makes sense. So if you think about people who started posting on Instagram when reels were heavy, people who got a lot of traction posting on TikTok, people who got a lot of traction posting on Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever. It's not to say that they're not successful now, but if all they brought to the table was, I'm just taking principles that genuinely work, not building on them or building some type of comprehensive worldview or facilitating a deep transformation outside of basic marketing principles in early day TikTok in 2021, I think we're going to see those people really struggle. And it's actually a lot better to build a personal brand in today's world because you actually have to be good at it. If you can get good at it now,
just like hot garbage bullshit.
It'll set you up for long-term success 5-10 years down the line, which is why I think somebody like Caleb Roll, and of course, like he worked for Gary Vee and Hormozi. That's fucking ridiculous social proof. But because he's developed such a high level of mastery over the last decade, now when he's actually releasing his thing, he's popping off. And I don't think he's going to be a flash in the pan because he was some guy just, stitching or reacting to a TikTok video and going like,
Dude, that irks the shit out of me. Like, it's one thing to have reaction content. It's another thing where that's another thing should be banned from the internet.
Just
Genuinely,
to rip it
like
off
I
the
know
cliff
if you're doing like if
without
you're doing
tagging them.
reaction
Without
content, you have
tagging
to
them.
actually make it better instead of just putting your fucking face and not doing anything. I don't give a shit about your face.
Yeah.
Like that should literally just be banned.
Yeah. Just like without tagging them too. That's the best part.
Yeah, no
You're like,
credit. Okay, yeah,
whoa.
no, it's your original IP because it's your fucking face. No, bro, that's not how that works. Like your face is not like. Oh, wow,
Yeah.
that made that so much different. Oh my god. Or bro, there's the new thing now where it's like everybody's like follow for part two. Oh my god, that irks. And then I'll scroll for like an hour to find the fucking second part of the reel, bro, and I can't find it.
Well, they have.
It's like,
they have
what are
linked,
you doing?
They have linked reels now, so that in
But,
theory.
but bro, all these fucking people, they don't use that. Like, you're gonna tell me to follow for part two. I will gladly give you my watch time and click on that fucking link, but there is no part two.
That's
And
so
I have to
funny.
scroll.
That's so funny. That's amazing. But and so like, there's nothing wrong with those reaction videos. I think if you're showing an example and then providing context or like commentary or like using it to build on an idea that you have talked about, that's fine. But if all you're doing is just
Yeah.
like stop, just fucking hit
Well,
the
then it's
repost
also-
button and move on.
When you go to all of these, not top creators, these, what do you call them?
Bottom
Like,
creators.
No, that's a whole other thing. More so, the people that are gonna you hire them to run marketing for your business, like those type of people, like
Consultants.
marketing experts, okay,
Okay.
or like social media, like social media managers or social media experts. They all say the same shit, which is to literally go to like the For You page, search up a hashtag or search
Yeah.
up your ICP, and then go to the top viral shit, download that, put it into GPT and AI, and copy it one to one. So now you have 100 fuckers literally cloning each other, and it's all the same repetitive garbage bullshit. That's why people that have success nowadays on socials are outliers. They're very, very trust forward. They're very like straightforward. They have their own unique shit that sets them apart because it's not the same slot bullshit that is generated by AI or duplicated by 7,000 other people.
I don't know if it's just because we're friends, so we would have that same belief, or even watching my content. But that's literally
No, genuinely.
that's my number one pet peeve right now on social media. And there's a fine line between doing market research and understanding psychological principles and understanding context, like why something works for somebody else and their situation, and how you can take that lesson and
Exactly.
apply it to what you're doing, and just copy paste ChatGPT cooking up in the stew. Yeah, me and Chat are cooking, fam. And then you just sound like fucking Dan Martell, or you sound like Neil Patel, or you sound like whoever you copied, and you just took their biggest viral videos, and you're like, why is this not working? Or like, why is this getting me views, but it doesn't move the needle anywhere else?
That goes to the first part of AI, or what we talked about with AI. I like telling clients that I work with, like, you can ask AI for an idea for content, but don't ever fucking use it one to one. I don't give a shit if you've added 27 revisions. What I mean by that is at least draft one can't be one to one. You need to iterate. You need to put your own fucking human fucking brain and thoughts into that shit to actually make it sound like you and make it make sense. I'm not saying you can't train a GPT agent or a workflow and all this stupid shit, but if you want actual like good content that's like knowledgeable and shit, you can't just duplicate everybody else. And if you are going to take a viral video of Dan Martell, then take that, run it, take the framework and the skeleton and the key points of that, but spin it with your own narrative and your creativity of your brand or of yourself, because you have different experience and knowledge than fucking Dan Martell.
Yeah, and if you can't do it by yourself, asking ChatGPT to do it is just going to lead you further into the woods. Like, I keep saying I think to start these sentences. I got to start speaking with more confidence, you know.
Yeah, more authority.
But a lot of people think that, oh, AI is leveling the playing field. I don't. I think AI is actually. I think.
Yes and no. It depends how you utilize it. It's
Depends.
leveling the playing field for people that are on like a low budget, and like, for example, who are struggling to who are making like 50 grand a year, but they wanted to scale to like 100 or 200, but they didn't have the infrastructure or the ability to like scale because they couldn't hire teams. So now with AI, if they know how to utilize that and have certain workflows and infrastructure, they could get to that, right? But like some people, it takes away like their critical thinking skills. I saw a study
Yes.
done where it's like our frontal lobes, like, because people are literally like, how do I brush my teeth now on GPT? Like they like, you know what I mean? Like, so, but for
You
me,
don't.
the way
That's
I
the real
utilize
answer.
AI is like, I'll iterate, I'll ask questions, I'll give it details, I'll give it I'll also like use my voice. Like, also, that's a side note, but like best AI hack I could give you for 2020, literal the whole fucking 2000 millennia is don't text because like your voice is quicker. Your words are quicker from your voice than typing.
No, dude, I agree. And I think in a lot of verticals, AI doesn't level the playing field. It widens the gap from the elite and the people who don't know what they're doing. So, for example, if you can create great AI automations in your CRM or with your follow up sequence, that's leveling the playing field because it's something that's more technical and analytical. Sure, you have to know what you're doing, but odds are, if you don't know what you're doing at all, adding more AI isn't going to fuck you over because it's not front facing. You know what I mean? In places like ads, content, branding, marketing, AI widens the gap because the people who know what they're doing become so much more efficient, and the people who don't tank their trust because they look like idiots. They look
Well,
like
it's like
absolute morons.
the top of the top when they utilize AI, like the top 10% still stay the 10% because they utilize AI and it makes them faster and better because they know what to look for and they know the quality and it just all that shit. But the other 90% think they're going to match the 10% because they're matching the 10%, but that's why they're still in the 90%, right? It's the ones that adapt but also like work with it over time versus just like relying on it completely. Because if you rely on it completely and you have no critical input or thoughts, then yeah, that's like you're just gonna have slop.
Yeah, it's like I saw this video. I can't remember who did it, but this kid asked this guy, he's like, "How do I get AI to do my homework for me?" And he's like, "Go into ChatGPT and tell it, hey, ChatGPT, do my homework for me," and give it your homework. I'm like, wow, unreal. Who would have thought to do that?
Yeah.
And also, side note, I've been telling everybody I know who's a teacher, don't run from AI, but tell your students, how did you prompt AI to give me this? And grade them based on that. Grade them based on the process.
And that's what they're doing in China, bro.
Yeah. Because
Right?
they can't.
Nowadays, the way
can't run
the
from that.
education system is like literally there's no point in anybody being in school if that's what they're going to do. But like what I've done actually is like to keep my brain sharp because I didn't want to be so dependent on AI. Is like every day I have like a mental OS, which OS is operating system for those that are not in the norms.
The fact that you called it a mental OS means that you lost points. You lost brains.
I like it. Fuck you. It's the founder mental OS. Anyways, every morning I have a workflow that sends me a reminder to basically I do a pop quiz, and the pop quiz is about like KPI for mental math or how to get better at like my
cool.
lack of empathy. So I work on my EQ. So, some of the stuff it's not working well, but some of the stuff my therapist tells me what to do. But anyways, so like what I would do is if I was a kid, granted most kids are lazy and they just want to play Fortnite, I would tell the GPT or the AI, can you ask me questions to help me get unstuck on doing my homework? Because if they just tell the AI to do their fucking homework, they have no critical thinking. And then you can't even get a 9 to 5 job at a factory because the AIs are going to take that when you finish college, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so funny. You're like, I get AI to help me be a better person.
No, it's okay.
I know I'm fucking with you.
In a lot of ways, I've been told I'm a robot, but it's also because like I need more context and information, and it's like similar to GPT. You give me more info, I give you a better output. When you're like vague and as fuck, I don't know how to correlate that. I need specifics, right? So it's like I use AI a lot of ways, not just to optimize business, but also like with personal. I have a workflow where it automates my finances, where like I take a picture, I send it to them, it puts it in my Excel sheet. I have one that I told you about, like the test one. I have one about my macros, even though I'm clearly failing at that because I'm really puffy right now. I have one where it reviews my blood test. So like AI is not going anywhere. It's either adapt or die, basically. Like learn to use it or fuck off, basically.
Yeah, dude, it's like it just makes me think of. Do you know who Chase Down Leads is on Instagram?
Yeah, I like him a lot. He's good shit.
Dude, the best one. I'm just pulling it up right now. I'm gonna read it. Is not gonna waste my time with this, and it's a screenshot of his dad texting him, and in his contacts it says dad, and in brackets ignore. And his dad's like, "Want to have lunch Thursday? Would be great to catch up." And he's like, "Sure. My hourly rate is $2,700. Feel free to book with my assistant." And he's like, "What? I just want to have lunch with my son." Sounds like a low ROI activity. I'll pass. Take me off your list.
Jesus Christ.
That's so amazing. But no, dude, I agree with you completely because it's like if AI is going to make information more accessible than ever, the real differentiator isn't in more info or being able to get it out there faster, because at some point the AI is going to be so fast it's not going to matter. It's going to be a fraction of a second with how much quicker you can post or how much quicker you can make video scripts. It's in what is your unique philosophy that people can buy into because you're facilitating a deep transformation in their life. It's not just about tracking their macros and like AI can tell you these 10,000 protein recipes. It's about, okay, who are you and who are you trying to be and what does weight loss even mean to you? It's okay, what are you selling? Are you selling content? Okay, why? Why does that matter? And like, how do you attract people on a deep emotional level so they stay with you instead of just leading with elaborate guarantees with this fucking 13-page contract with all the things you got to do to qualify, and then you don't, and they're like, well, sorry, thanks for giving us 100 grand.
Wouldn't know anything about that. Would but the it goes back to the trust recession where I lost my train of thought. But the you take over. Ask me another question. I completely lost my train of thought. I blanked out. ADHD.
That's so funny. Yeah, and the trust recession, I think, is here to stay. Will trust ever be higher in the market? I don't know. I can't project longer than 5 years down the road, if I'm being completely honest with you, because I think things change so quickly. But instead of being in the AI era, a lot of people are like, we're not entering, like, we're out of social media, we're into interest media, we're into the AI social media era. I think we're actually into the personal essence era. Who are you? What are you trying to do? What matters to you, and how are you trying to convey that to other people? Because if all you're doing is using social media to get views or get money, that's going to repel people. And if it doesn't in the short term, it will in the long term. There's only so much you can do when you're building on sand as your foundation. And if that's all you're interested in, being another hustle bro to tell people how rich you are, building from your ego, just in it to get Stripe transactions in and not actually leave the people you took from the beginning better off when they leave, or actually have them want to come back, that's a house of cards. I didn't ask you a question.
I have no feedback. I mean, like, I agree with everything you said. I think I have no other feedback at this time. Thank you.
Okay, I'll give you this because I posted this on my story the other day, and I think this is very true. True progress isn't tracked by how much information you memorize or how much knowledge you accumulate. It's in how much differently you see yourself, the world, and what you do.
I remember my point now. Yeah, my point is, like, pretty much anything nowadays can be, if you prompt it correctly, you could get anything you want in AI. Sometimes it's more complex than others, but like, sure, like, you shouldn't really buy, in my opinion at least, you shouldn't really buy like some really expensive course, because realistically you could reverse engineer that. But the reason you're probably going to end up buying that course is because you like and know and trust the person who's like marketing that course, and you'll probably get better results from that guy's experience, and hopefully he has experience with working with others, than you know, testing it yourself. But if it's not the case, then whatever that is, whether it's marketing or like, especially like sales, I'm not saying people especially like would benefit from like role playing, like with sales group, but like everything else, a lot of scripting, if you know what to prompt AI and you know what to look for and you know how to audit yourself, then you don't need to hire some like sales guru mentor. You know, everything's at your fingertips. But what's going to get someone over the edge to get them to buy is you, and being transparent, and not having like a 13-page bullshit, like non-guarantee stipulation bullshit. It's just like, here's what I do, here's what I offer, here's the proof that I have. You like? Cool. Send money. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, I agree with you completely. It's the informed buyer will always win, obviously, but in today's world, people are becoming more informed because of how many times they've been burned or ripped off. And if you can embody that as the business owner, like, hey, I'm not here to rip you off, and like, I don't need you to buy my thing. I trust so much in the results that I have, and I know I can make a difference in your life, and you show that in your marketing or your cold outreach or whatever it is, whatever you use that's front facing to market yourself, you will attract similar people. Have you ever read Reality Transurfing?
I don't think I've heard of it.
Dude, you gotta fucking read it. It's this book right here. It's on my Kindle.
You have a Kindle?
I have a Kindle. I live abroad, my man. I'm not bringing books with me.
I mean, that's valid. I just remember, like, I bought my grandma a Kindle, and like, she didn't like it because it didn't feel like the same as a book. But I'm also like, lady, you're like 100, so like, you can't fucking move the page with your finger. You have no like, should like lick her finger until there was like, it was like making the page like sopping wet, and like she still couldn't fucking move the page.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Books are still superior. I prefer books. I travel a lot. Like, I live in a completely different continent, so I'm going with the Kindle. And it is
Understand.
nice. It is
I
nice from a convenience standpoint. But basically, reality transurfing talks about. I mean, there's a lot of things it talks about. It's a really dense book. It's like almost 600 pages. It's written by this like Russian physicist. The way I would describe it is, why do some people seem to get everything they want out of life and others don't? And he kind of breaks down these principles from a scientific and emotional woo-woo standpoint, and he blends them together really, really well, which I really like. But one of the things he talks about is that you don't need to idolize other people. Like, you have everything you already need. And if you don't cultivate your own internal operating systems and cultivate that energy within yourself to attract like-minded individuals, you're just going to get caught up in bullshit and games that don't have your best interest in mind, whether it's getting too caught up in politics or religion or this marketing idea or this agency or this business or whatever it is. If you're operating too much in the mind and not connecting to your heart, like, what do I really want? And like, how do I embody being this person from like an actual grounded standpoint? You're just going to keep bouncing from, I don't want to use the word mistake, but you're just going to keep bouncing from things that don't fulfill you and don't last all the time.
Yeah, I mean, if you try to model yourself off of people, it depends who or why you're doing that. You could respect people. You could.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the word idolize. Like,
Me neither.
you could look up to someone, but like, should you encompass or change everything about your life because of that person? No, because also chances are, like, I don't know, like, you're not going to be able to replicate that shit really easily. You just take parts and pieces of it. You could respect how they got there for sure, but like, should you model yourself off of it? Should you replicate? It's not going to work. Like, it's the same thing with like the virality and the AI
Mm-hmm.
bullshit. Oh, one guy had a viral reel. Okay, let me copy and paste it in GPT. You could take someone's fucking life story. You're still not gonna. You're still not gonna get there because there's so many anomalies and variables in life that you can't really fucking control,
Mm-hmm.
right? I remember I saw a video which was really apropos, where it's like, I think it was to explain how difficult business is to have success in. And it was like, you could take an entire day, 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever. You could use AI, doesn't matter. You could sit down and write an entire business plan, the name, the brand, how you're gonna get there, what your revenues, your KPIs is for like 6 months roadmap. And then you could try to follow it one to one. And within like 2 weeks, nothing is gonna still stuck. Because there's so like nothing's still going to be able to follow that exact roadmap because there's so many different variables and shit that happens throughout life and anomalies that you didn't account for, and that's why business is really hard, and that's why like modeling yourself off of something else, it's not really possible. I mean, like, you can to a certain degree, but not like
Yeah. No, I agree with you. There are aspects of other people that can inspire you, and it's good to use that as a mirror into your own process. Because odds are, you find something that somebody else is doing, you like it, it activates something in you, and you might want to do something similar. But to just idolize other people, I don't think anybody should be an idol. There's nobody who's bigger than you on the planet. I truly believe that. Like, whether you believe in God or not, Puffy, I don't know if you do, but I believe there's nothing bigger than you. The only thing bigger than you is God. No government's bigger than you. No lawyers are bigger than you. No influencer is bigger than you. I don't care how many followers they have. I don't care how much money they have. I don't care how much status they have. I don't care how much business success they've had. No person's bigger than me on this planet. Nobody. And I'm not bigger than other people. Because this is a lot. It's not about that. Because I think once you get into that, you start idolizing people, and you start thinking like, oh, what does this person have that I don't? Nothing. You have everything you need. Just, are you willing to like look inward and figure it out? Because Michael Jordan and Elon, I think, are two people that a lot of, especially entrepreneurs, athletes, entrepreneurs, tech bros, worship. 99% of people would not swap places with those guys.
well, if they knew everything that went into it and like how many sacrifices that was made, I don't think a lot of people, um, even Hermosi, right? Like, most everyday people or even everyday business people, I don't think if they actually had an itemized list of everything that fucking guy did in a day, they would swap places with him. But it's just like people are built differently. Also, like, I feel like most people that surpass $100 million in net worth and like especially want to get to a billion, they're psychologically damaged, but in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, you have to literally be fucked in the head to get to $1 billion. Just because like at a certain point, how much wealth do you actually need? Like, I think once you've hit like $10 million, you're pretty good. Like, sure, like, yeah, okay, maybe you have a business and shit to take care of, but like, you could realistically sell shit and just exit and like live off of fucking go to Thailand. You would know. You don't even need 10
Thailand's
million in
great.
Thailand.
$10
You need
million
like $100,
American would stretch very well in Thailand.
right? Yeah, in order
You
to
legit
get
wouldn't have to
there,
work
like,
a
most
second
people are
longer
not
in your life.
gonna they're not gonna switch places, right? Like, there's so many sacrifices that are needed to be made in order to actually get there. There's so many people that you have to grow apart from or cut ties with, or people talk shit behind your back, or to your face. You know, like business owners, they get the short end of the stick a lot of times. The credit card companies don't care about you. The people will dispute shit, although like, you know, they don't have anything to dispute. We'll work 100 hours a week just to get a lawsuit and be called the bad guy because we're trying to run a business and like feed our family, you know, put bread on the table. Business is not for everyone. Business is not easy. But what does help business is trust and also utilizing AI properly to have like good infrastructure.
What about streamlining innovative, forward-thinking AI integrations
That too, but like that's like very like that's like
for
LinkedIn talk.
entrepreneurs who are trying to disrupt the market in the fintech
Is this like
venue?
a LinkedIn interview now? Like
Yeah.
I mean, bro, like um
My favorite is disrupt the market because I'm like, what does that mean? Like,
well, what does that mean? Like disrupting the market, bro? You're not open AI. Like there's nothing to disrupt anymore.
are you gonna go like to run into acquisition.com naked? That'll disrupt the market. Like that.
No, bro, they'll just make more. What do you mean, man? Like, nah, that's not gonna disrupt shit. That's just gonna like make them viral. Like, come on.
That's so funny. But I think, no, dude,
Don't give Hermosi more ideas for his next book launch. I guarantee you that he'll pull that shit.
no,
He'll
that's
just
just
run
not.
around with his cock in a sock and be like, "Hey guys, look over there. Now look back at my sock. Now look back at my cock. Now look at my head. And look, here is $1 billion offers. Okay,
That's so funny. I'm trying to remember what you even said. It's about AI, utilizing AI.
yeah, with proper like infrastructure and well also trust. It's like I was trying to like do a
Right.
call.
People are, I think people are very simple. It's not always easy to connect with people, but it's very simple. If they trust you, they'll buy from you. If they trust that you can get results, you'll take care of them, they'll buy from you. So it's everything I think in your marketing plan needs to go into how do I get people to trust me more? How do I get people to genuinely want to be close to me? Right? And of course, if you have a big team and you're scaling, I get it, but your marketing should still operate from the same place. Even if they're going to deal with representatives, they want to be close to you and your philosophy that your representatives carry out. And even from another standpoint, how do your representatives feel about you? If your team doesn't like you, that will be reflected in the fulfillment. If your team likes you and wants to be around you and enjoys who you are as a person, that will reflect in your fulfillment, that will reflect in your marketing, and I think that'll reflect in every area of your life. I think it's difficult to really care about people and like not treat your wife the same way or like not treat your family the same way. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer in like treating others the same way you would want to be treated yourself, or like same thing with business. It's like, I mean, some of the people that don't like me will probably think like they'll probably scoff when they hear that, but it's because they have a different narrative or they've painted a narrative in their head about me that's not true. Like I'm literally terrible at lying, and I'm really bad at like keeping up with the lies because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't remember, so it's just like I'm like the same person on this podcast that I am in person that I am in line, you know. And it's like then like people like say like, oh, he's a blunt dick. Well, no, bro, like I'm the same fucker that talked to you originally. It's just 3 months down the line and you're blaming me because you didn't do anything. So you're thinking I'm the issue, you didn't get results when like the deliverables were met and like serviced, and yet you didn't take action on those, you know. I don't know how we got on that, but like that's just my
No,
rant.
for sure. I think we could probably wrap up here because I'm looking at
What's up with you? Like where's your next thing?
the next. I'm launching an offer. I'm hoping to have it out. Pardon?
Does it have a name or is it
No.
secret?
It doesn't. No, it has a name. The name of the offer is Becoming Algorithm Proof. And the one sentence offer I'm working with right now is helping coaches, consultants, and agency owners add 10 to 20K a month by becoming the kind of person people want to watch, actually get closer to, and trust on a deep level.
Solid.
Because the thesis is when you're somebody people want to watch, you're somebody they want to get closer to. When you're somebody they want to get closer to, they trust you, and then it's so easy for them to buy and pay you high ticket and stay for long periods of time. Now, there's 3 core principles is what makes you somebody people want to watch. But I want to ask you something. There's 2 examples I always use in this. Number one is, have you ever seen the movie Napoleon Dynamite?
Of course.
The amazing movie, right?
Of course.
Do you know how much it was made for?
Like less than 10 million, I know that.
$400,000.
Nice.
You know how much it made?
Like a bajillion.
46 million.
Nice.
That's over a 100x ROI.
That's not
And so if you try to look at it from the outside, it's like the plot's nothing crazy. Okay, some fucking nerd helps his friend run for high school
What do you
president.
mean? It's like the greatest cinematic plot
No, but
climax and script of all time.
hear me out. Hear me out. on the surface, if I told you like, hey, let's make a movie about a guy who helps his friend run for class president, you'd probably be like, okay, like what else is going on in this movie? Like that's it? Oh, his friend shaves his head for no reason, and he gets him a wig. Like, what is this movie? But the reason why the movie works so well is because every character is so dynamic. Every character makes the plot a million times better. Like, okay, some nerd helps his friend run for high school president, but every single person's amazing. Uncle Rico, Kip, fucking Pedro. Like, even the guy who Uncle Rico tries to sell his snake oil Tupperware to, that couple makes you laugh. They're funny. And then Kip runs it over in his car. Like, everything works because the characters. And so that's my thesis, which is like, instead of trying to worry about being a blockbuster movie, you might not have the budget to hire A-list actors. You might not have the experience to make something that's going to break the box office. You might not have the context or the relevance to create a Godfather, to create, I always say Interstellar when I'm thinking of Inception. An Inception. Don't worry. The odds of you creating your own version of a blockbuster Hollywood movie increases when you make your Napoleon Dynamite, because then you actually get money into the business, people start to know you more, and you can expand on it. So what can you do to become watchable, to make everything you do that much more valuable? What can you do to get people to actually trust you, want to be around you, and then you get them incredible results, and now you have the budget to move into much larger plays? And so to me, that comes down to three core pillars. One, you need a unique mechanism. You need something that is going to make people go, wow, this is new and different. But it has to be congruent with who you are. It has to be an extension of who you are. So look at the pain points that the market's going through. List out everything. Okay, what are they willing to pay for high ticket? Okay, cool. Look at their desired situation. What are they willing to pay for high ticket? Okay, cool. Now look at what the market is saying. What are they not talking about as much that people are willing to pay a high ticket for? Okay, next step. What are they talking about that you disagree with that gets them to the result that they are willing to pay high ticket for? That is the foundation of your unique mechanism. Then you look at yourself. What are my unique skills, worldview, experiences, philosophies that make this basis so much better? So for myself, with what I'm building, it's okay, well, I built my own agency. I made over 600, I think it was 650K Canadian, just 2.5 years with 3,000 followers. I didn't go viral ever. We got our clients insane results, and it was able to help me live around the world, move to Thailand eventually, and completely transform into the person I knew I always wanted to be. And then that set the ground for me paying off 33K worth of debt in Canadian money in 6 months.
How did you get so much debt?
Pardon?
How did you get so much debt?
We'll bookmark that. It was 50K. I paid off 33K in 6 months. The short answer is emotional immaturity and not feeling worthy and needing to spend money.
The Jew in me is very disappointed in you, Nico. That's
Pardon
very bad.
What did you say?
The Jew in me is very disappointed.
I was just gonna say, like, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, the immigrant parent in my family, I have two of them, were very disappointed in me as well. They freaked out, but I'm like, it's just debt, guys. Like, it's just a number. Because also, I think from a spiritual standpoint, I think you'll always be shown things you need to see. My lesson was debt is just a number. If I made $100,000 next month, it'd be all gone.
Yeah, but like, you gotta kind of like not. I don't like paying interest.
Okay, here, what I'm not saying is just spend money without thinking or knowing where it's going or without intention. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is, if you can feel emotionally safe in difficult situations, your odds of climbing out of that hole is much greater. Your ability to actually focus on, okay, how do I not get in this situation again? And like, what did I do? How can I walk this back and not lose my mind and be like, hey, I'm here. It's all good. If I made $100K next month, this would be fine. What do I need to do to get to that point? Who do I need to be to get to that point? Anyways, so I say that to say, like, that was an important lesson for me. And I really valued it because it's like, can I be safe can I allow myself to be emotionally safe when I'm in debt? And a lot of people would say no. And I think that's something that people should work on. And it's not saying like, go get $50,000 worth of debt now for personal development. Like, no, don't do that. But what I am saying is, if you're not able to remain level-headed and have your own back in any situation, the odds of you turning it around are really low.
You're your own worst enemy and your own biggest supporter.
Exactly.
When it comes to the business or just in general, like, you need a strong support system, but also like you have to be the rock, like not literally Dwayne Johnson, but like the foundation of like yourself. Because if it's like you doubt yourself, then your business is just shit. It's like there's the adage of like what you put into the atmosphere, right? And so like if you think your product or service is not valuable, or you're like, I can't really charge that. Guess what? You can't fucking charge that because psychologically, you're just gonna have a hard time closing them because you don't
Exactly.
believe it yourself. So if you believe to yourself, oh, this is hard. Oh, well, no shit, it's fucking hard, bro. If it's easy, everybody fucking do it. But like, oh, I'm not gonna do this. Oh, I can't do this. Wah, 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 wah. Like, what the fuck do you expect? Right? You think fucking Elon Musk or Hormozy was like, oh, wow, this is hard. No, fuck that. He slept on the gym floor, bitch.
And even Hormozy talks about this. Him and Layla talk about this a bunch. If you want to make $1,000, be prepared to lose 100. If you want to make $10,000, be prepared to lose 1,000. And I'm not going to say all the fucking factors and integers on the way to 1,000,000 or 10 million, but you get the point. If you want to make large amounts of money, there's a learning tax. And look, I might have paid more than I needed to, but it's all good. I learned the lessons I needed to as well. And so back to the unique offer thing. Okay, so I've done this personally. I've done this business-wise. This helps strengthen my offer because I've also worked for a bunch of companies in the past where I feel like they didn't prioritize their clients. Worked for a bunch of marketing agencies and coaching offers and consulting offers that I feel like really didn't have their clients' backs. These things are all unique experiences I've had that make the offer so much more powerful because I've lived it.
Well, that's similar to what I run now, where I've consolidated basically everything under the same umbrella. And because I worked with so many different dipshits and marketers or gurus or whatever you want to call it, I realized a lot of them are dumb or like put on a facade and like they'll tell you one thing and then you get another thing, or like they're basically running like an MLM Ponzi scheme. Like you think you're working with this guy, nope, you're going to this guy, and then they're like a Facebook group or like anyway, you're like they send you into like a school community and like you get someone assigned to you and fuck that. So I took what a lot of people struggle with or the competitors or quote unquote in the marketplace, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna have everything all in one instead of like, you know, one person for marketing or well, I don't really do marketing, but it's like one person for funnels and one person for like sales and one person for finance and all this shit. I just basically consolidate it all into one and do as much DFY as possible because ultimately like there's like it's high ticket, no shit, but like a lot of the businesses that I work with, they don't have the time to like fucking spend 20 hours a week on like deliverables and shit, right? So it's easier to do it for them because then also that way I know it's not fucked up.
No, dude, exactly. And the other two core components of the offer is like, how do you build content ecosystems that feed into each other? Long form YouTube, short form video, ads. And then the last is, how do you do the inner work so you don't feel afraid of being seen and make the same mistakes I did?
Amen.
Because really, at the end of the day, part of the reason why I built the agency was because I didn't want to move back to Winnipeg. I was like, okay, I just got fired. No way I'm moving back to Winnipeg. So I hustled my ass off and built my agency. But then once the fear of going back to Winnipeg was subsided, and I'm like, okay, it's not a real option for me, I didn't want to build the agency anymore. And I was like, this isn't aligned with who I want to be. And now as I'm starting to launch this thing, I can feel that resistance come up. So it's something that I'm glad I'm facing.
Bro, I don't want to move to Winnipeg. It's cold as fuck there.
Dude, I got to Winnipeg with my girlfriend.
It's very cold. Like my balls would have icicles on it.
Winnipeg is, I'm not a fan. It's not.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Canada for the most part anymore, but like we're not a political podcast.
Yeah, exactly. But at least, like, I'm in Kelowna right now as the time of filming this. Kelowna is a beautiful city. Like, if I had to live anywhere in Canada.
It's goddamn expensive, though. It's more expensive than Toronto.
No, it's not.
Okay, maybe not Kelowna, but BC, like heart of BC.
Vancouver is, yeah.
Yeah,
I lived in Vancouver. Vancouver totally is. Kelowna's definitely
Vancouver's insanity.
Vancouver's definitely more expensive than Toronto.
It's 1.6 million for like a 3,000 square foot house. That same amount of money, you could buy like a 5,000 square foot in like anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Vancouver and Toronto are massively overinflated, but we'll get to that another time. Anyways, okay, I think it's a good place to end. Let's end this here. Puffy, is there anything?
Chase your dreams, follow your dreams, people, and don't vote liberals. I don't know, man. Okay, if I had to say anything to like, I don't know, maybe one person that's actually watching at this point, first of all, thank you. I would like to know your name and reach out to you personally and send you a funny GIF of myself.
It's your grandmother.
And if anybody else is watching and you want help with a better back-end infrastructure, or you basically, in the next 90 days, you want to make 20 to 30% more revenue without running ads, and you're a coach or you're a gym, then hit me up. I don't work with everyone, genuinely. I'm not just saying that. It's not like a scarcity tactic. It's like, let's get on a call for 20 minutes, shoot this shit. We'll run some numbers, see if you suck, what you suck at, and then be like, yo, I can unfuck your suck. So yeah, let me know.
That's a good unfuck
your suck. That's my new slogan.
Yeah, unfuck your suck.
Hire me to work with your business so I can unfuck your suck. See, this is why, bro, I can't work corporate, dog. Like, I gotta run my own shit for the rest of my life. Like, I'm getting fired within an hour.
Yeah, you'd be gone so quickly. Okay, that's a good place to end it. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Peace, everybody.
Amen.
Shit.